Greetings, fellow yogis. Here we are again. We are about to start our 60-minute Vinyasa flow. I am Spencer.
Wait, he's Spencer Broad.
The lovely Amelia. It might be backwards, though. It might be backwards, but it does say Broad Street. I bought this from Bernie Perrant's daughter, for those of you old enough to remember who Bernie Perrant is. She makes these shirts, and I saw her at an outdoor festival in Marlton a couple of years ago, and she was selling all kinds of shirts. And since this is my last name, it might be backwards for what you're seeing, but it says Broad Street. My last name is Broad, and so I love to wear this shirt. Anyway, so we are going to begin today in a seated position. You can sit on a block if you like to lift your hips up a little bit. I know Amelia likes to do that when we begin seated.
She does.
Gives a little bit of lift to the hips and allows the knees and ankles to cross. So we'll begin in a seated position. You can have your palms facing down to ground. You can have your palms facing up on your knees to receive. A lot of times people put their peace sign fingers on the floor to ground as well. And let us just begin with our mindful meditative breath, just coming to your yoga head, your yoga mind, allowing all of your internal dialogue to pass through, and just coming to your mindful meditative breath. Your eyes can be closed here, or your eyes can be open if you choose. If your eyes are open, maybe gazing, finding a drishti point about 3 or 4 feet in front of yourself. The sound of your breath here is quiet and soft. The texture of your breath is smooth and easy. Just beginning to calm the mind, quiet the mind, slow the mind down. You'll never stop the thoughts because you're a human. You can control the thoughts instead of allowing the thoughts to control you. You can stay mindful without judgment. Equanimity. Mindfulness without judgment. Mindfulness is staying present, staying in the moment. Mindfulness without judging yourself at the same time is equanimity. Prepare yourself emotionally, physically, psychologically for the next 60 minutes. Take 2 or 3 more mindful meditative breaths. And now we'll begin to deepen our breath as we move into our Ujjayi breath. So now the sound of your breath is audible, maybe only internally or maybe externally as well. And the texture of your breath is rough and coarse. You're feeling the vibration of the air as it passes over the back of the throat, vibrating that little piece of tissue at the back of the throat, the glottis. Feeling the air as it passes through the trachea, into the bronchi, into the lungs expanding, the diaphragm dropping down in the abdominal cavity, allowing the intercostal muscles to lengthen, open, stretch, the lungs opening, stretching. Visualize this. Picture one breath as it enters in through the nasal cavity, feeling cool, and then passing through the back of the throat, down the bronchi, into the lungs. Belly fills. Building heat, setting yourself up for your practice today. Using your Ujjayi breath during your practice when you need that extra fire in the belly. Take 3 final Ujjayi breaths, and I invite you to extend that and lengthen that exhale. Really build each breath, building on that exhalation. Activating the parasympathetic nervous system. Take your final Ujjayi breath here. Now we'll deepen our breath one final time as we move into a cleansing breath. Inhale deeply, but this time at the top of your breath, you'll pause for a count of 4, 3, 2, 1. Now the mouth opens wide as you exhale, blowing out a candle about 4 or 5 feet in front of you. Lengthening that exhale. Inhale. Pause at the top of your breath. Mouth opens wide. Exhale. Inhale. Pause. Exhale. Remember that you have access to this breathing pattern during your practice when you need that influx of oxygen and outflow of carbon dioxide. Take 3 final deep cleansing breaths on your own, making each breath deeper than the last. Final 2 cleansing breaths. We've gone through 3 different breathing patterns in our pranayama breathing today. Mindful meditative breath that you'll use when you're settling into your postures. Ujjayi breath for that extra fire in the belly. And cleansing breath to clear out. Final breath here. Eyes blink open. If you're seated on a block or a pillow, take that out. Move that to the side. And we'll begin our spinal range of motion. We're going to take the spine through all the available ranges of motion. So we'll start with side bending or lateral flexion. So we're going to place that right hand to the outside of the right hip. That left arm extends up tall. You're touching the ceiling with your left arm. You have an active left hand here. So you're lengthening that shoulder. Press down into the right palm. That lifts you up tall. And then on your exhale, begin to take your side bend. So your left fingers are pointing towards the side wall. Your left side body is opening. But at the same time, you're pressing down into the left hip. You don't want that left hip to rise. You're pressing down into the left hip. Maybe, should you like, you can come down to a block on your forearm on the right side, or if you have enough flexibility in your body, you can come to your forearm onto your mat, as long as that left hip remains on the ground. Inhale. Exhale, lengthen. Feel that side body opening, those intercostal muscles that I was talking about before opening. Inhale. Exhale, lengthen, maybe gazing into the palm or gazing under your left armpit. Inhale brings you back to center. And let's switch out hands here. So left palm goes down, right hand comes up. You're touching the ceiling with your right fingertips. You're opening the shoulder and lengthening that right side body. Inhale. Exhale, lengthen. You're sunsetting that right arm. So the right biceps is as close to the right ear as possible. You can gaze under that right arm, or you can gaze into the right palm. Inhale. Exhale, lengthen. Feel that right side body actively opening. That right shoulder joint, that ball and socket joint opening. Inhale. Exhale, lengthen. Inhale brings you back to center. We'll take both arms up tall. Begin to suck the belly button in, engaging the bandhas that I talk about so frequently. Inhale, grow, belly button sucked into the spine. And then on your exhale, you'll bring your hands, palms to the floor. Your chest comes towards your shins. You're sucking that belly button in, giving yourself additional space. Inhale, exhale, lengthen. Feeling the stretching of the paraspinal muscles from the base of the spine all the way up to the base of the skull. Inhale. Exhale, walk your fingertips out another 1/8 of an inch. Inhale. Exhale brings you back to center. Now let's take the hands behind the back. We'll make a fist. Inhale. Exhale, begin to bend forward. Maybe bringing your crown towards the floor. Bringing the shoulder blades together. Shoulder rinse here. Inhale. Exhale and fold. Inhale brings you back up. We'll move into spinal rotation now. We're going to take the back of the left palm, back of the left hand, to the outside of the right knee. That left arm is going to stay nice and straight here. The right hand comes behind the spine, bringing your wrist as close to your spine as possible with your fingertips pointing away. Now, on your inhale, press down into your right hand. That will lift you up, grow tall, touch the ceiling with your crown of your head. And then on your exhale, begin to take your twist. Your gaze is over your right shoulder. You're using the back of your left hand as your leverage here. So that left arm stays straight, pressing that hand into the knee. Inhale, grow, pressing down into the right palm, lift up tall, distracting the spinal bones, and then exhale, twist. As you can see, Amelia almost has her shoulders. Now she does have her shoulders completely perpendicular to the rest of her body. Nice twist here. The oblique muscles. Inhale, grow. Exhale, twist. And come back to center. Let's switch out the legs. And we'll go to the other side. So when I tell you to press down to lift up, you're distracting your spine. You have 24 segments in the spine, and they're all connected by a variety of joints. Let's go to the other side here. So back of the right palm to the outside of the left knee. Left hand to the back of the spine, bringing the wrist as close to the spine as possible, fingertips pointing away. Inhale, press down into that left palm, grow tall, and then exhale, take your twist. So as I was saying, when you press down to lift up, you're distracting the spinal joints. You're opening them up. That gives you that much more ability to take that torque. Inhale, grow. Exhale, twist. See, your shoulders are nice and lined up, even without my assist there. Inhale, grow. Exhale, twist. And make your way back to center. Let's roll over onto our hands and knees as we find ourselves into tabletop. You can face the wall. So we'll find ourselves in tabletop here. We'll move into a couple cow-cats. So as always, knees directly under the hips. Shoulders directly over the elbows and elbows directly over the palms. Middle finger and index finger facing forward. Your toes can either be rolled under, should you choose, or you can have them flat. Let's take an inhale as we drop our belly and gaze upward. Our drishti point looking towards the top of the wall, accentuating that lumbar curve, that lumbar lordosis. And then on your exhale, you'll press into your palms, bring that chin to the chest, dome the spine to the ceiling for cat pose. Inhale for cow. Exhale for cat. Inhale for cow. Exhale for cat. And then I invite you to take 2 or 3 cow-cats on your own. And I also encourage you to move your hips, move your shoulders. Just listen to your body's intuition here. Let your body go where it chooses. And then after 2 or 3 and you feel like you've had enough, you'll just come back to neutral tabletop. Now from here we're going to move into a gate pose. So let's step the left foot back. You're going to Actually, let's step the right foot back. I'm sorry. Step the right foot back, and you're going to come to. You're going to come to the into the arch of the foot. So place the arch of the foot on the floor. That left palm comes under the nose. Your left knee is down, so right leg extended back, and then sweep that right arm up into the air and find your way into gate pose. So the right fingertips are touching the ceiling. You're pressing down into the left palm. Now, if you are comfortable here, maybe think about lifting that right leg off of the ground. Hold here. If you are comfortable here and you want to go into full side plank, extend that left leg back to meet the right and lift yourself up into full side plank. Now, where do you put your feet in side plank? Amelia has her feet lined up. You can either stack your feet, which is a little bit more difficult, or you can have them lined up as she does here, touching the ceiling with your right hand, pressing down into that left arm, lifting the hips up, engaging that core for 3, for 2, for 1. Make your way back to gate pose if you're not already there. Right leg lifts up tall again. Hold here. And then if you're comfortable here, you can bend that right knee, grab the foot with the right hand, begin to kick into that right hand, maybe opening up the chest so the chest is towards the ceiling, gaze is towards the ceiling. You're going into a beautiful back bend here. The harder you kick into your hand, the more that thigh will extend for 3. Breathe, Ujjayi breath for 2, for 1, and release. Right palm comes down, right knee comes down. You're back in tabletop. Take 1 set of cow-cat here to reset the spine. So as always, lots of layers here. You can stay in gate pose the entire time, or you can lift the leg, or you can go into full side plank, or you can take that into a back bend. I gave you 4 different layers. So wherever your skill level is and wherever your level of comfort is, and it may be different from one day to the next, that's where you go. But I'm giving you different layers here so that you choose where your body feels the best. Let's send the left foot back. We'll move to the arch of that left foot. Press the right palm into the mat and then sweep that left arm up tall. Now you'll see from the rear view here as we move into gate pose. So this is an active left arm. We're touching the ceiling. Touch my hand with your fingertips. Lift, lift, lift the hips. Press down to lift up. Now if you're comfortable here and want to lift that left leg up, hold there. One day that left leg is parallel to the mat. Beautiful. Balance posture. Engage the core. Suck the belly button in here. Engage your bandhas. If you're comfortable here and you'd like to move into full side plank, extend that right leg back. Have to look sometimes and see which side. As you can see, Amelia has her feet lined up here. You can either be in that position or you can stack your feet, which is a little bit more difficult because there's fewer points touching the ground. Gaze is upward into that left thumb for 3, for 2, for 1. If you're not in gate pose, make your way, get back to gate pose. That left leg lifts up again, hold here. If you're comfortable here and would like to move to the next layer, you'll bend that left knee, grab the top of the left foot with the hand, and then kick into that left hand, opening that thigh. So this is a hip extender, quadriceps, psoas muscles, lengthening. Gaze is towards the ceiling. It's a shoulder opener. It's a balance. She has external rotation on both the left shoulder and the right shoulder at the same time for 3, for 2, for 1, and release. Take a set of cow-cat. So that's a hip opener and a shoulder opener and a chest opener all at the same time, depending on where you are going with your practice and where you are comfortable with that particular posture. Now let's roll the toes under, lift the hips up tall, find our way into our first down dog. Pedal your feet out, swivel your hips, bend your knees as much as you would like here. Chest comes towards the thighs, back is nice and flat. Heels come towards the floor. They may or may not ever touch the floor. As I say regularly, I usually can't touch the floor with my heels till about halfway through a practice because I have had hamstring injuries and calf injuries and foot and ankle injuries, so it takes me a little bit longer to warm up. You may or may not ever get the heels there. We're going to go into, we'll take a small vinyasa ladder here. So from down dog, let's roll forward and make our way into high plank and hold here. And then press back to down dog. Inhale forward in the high push-up. Now you can come to your knees. We're going to go into chaturanga here. Feel free to come down to your knees, do knees, chest, and chin. Or you can take a full chaturanga. Lower down, low push-up. Back to high push-up. And then press back to down dog. At any time during our practice, your vinyasa can be on your knees. Now we'll take a vinyasa, as we'll do typically during the rest of the practice. You can always sit these out. Inhale brings you forward in the high push-up. You want your shoulders over your fingertips. Exhale, elbows in tight, lower down, chaturanga. Flatten the feet. Inhale brings you into cobra or upward facing dog. And then exhale, roll over the toes, downward facing dog. Bend the knees, gaze to the top of the mat, and you can either walk or hop to the top of the mat and find your way in Uttanasana or forward fold. Now you can grab your elbows one another here, should you choose, for ragdoll. Or if you feel a little warmed up and you have some flexibility and you want to go for a yoga toe lock onto the big toes, or maybe go for the heels, basically what you want to do is lift the hips up, drop the crown down, contracting the quadriceps. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale lifts the arms up tall. Hands come to heart center. We'll move into Tadasana, mountain pose, grounding into the earth, four corners of the feet. The pad beneath the big toe, the pad beneath the little toe, and the two outside corners of your ankles. Palms are facing forward. Anatomical position, shoulder blades slightly retracted, chin slightly tucked, rest pose, Tadasana. And we'll move into our sun salutations. We'll do one sun A, one sun B, as always, adding a lunge in the middle. Follow my cues, one breath, one motion. Inhale, arm sweep up tall. Exhale, and forward fold. Inhale, hands to shins, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold, step the right foot back, you're in a runner's lunge. Inhale, lifts the heart, nice straight line. Exhale, left foot back, down dog. Inhale, forward in the high push-up. Exhale, you can come to your knees or not. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, roll over the toes, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg lifts tall. Exhale, bend the knees, step the foot to the top of the mat between the hands. If your foot is not directly under your knee, grab your foot and bring it there. Inhale, lifts the heart. Exhale, left foot forward and fold. Inhale, shins. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arm sweep up tall, palms together, thumbs crossed. You can release your index finger. We're going to set up for our first back bend. Be kind, gentle, and compassionate to you on the first back bend. Press down to lift up. Now press the hips forward, drop the head back, and begin to make your way back. You're tracing a straight line on the ceiling. Your chest is ultimately pressing into the ceiling. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, shins. Exhale, fold and step the left foot back into a runner's lunge. Inhale, lifts the heart. Exhale, right foot back, down dog. Chaturanga time or Vinyasa time. Forward in the high push-up on your inhale. Now take your Chaturanga Dandasana. Lower down, low plank. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, roll over the toes, downward facing. Inhale, left leg lifts. I'm going to hold here for a second. Just look how nice and straight this line is. Exhale, bring the foot forward, top of the mat. Inhale, lifts the heart. Exhale, right foot forward and fold. Inhale, shins. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms sweep up tall. We'll bring the palms together and set up for our next back bend. So press the palms together, but also press the wrists together. Press down into the feet to lift up tall. Grow tall. Press your hips forward. Drop your head back. Trace a line on the ceiling towards the back wall. Your eyes are looking at the wall behind you. Your chest is gazing towards the ceiling. Your glutes are tight. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Tadasana, mountain pose. So there's so much going on in the back bend. And there's also panic that sometimes comes into the back bend, which is where the breath comes in. So use your Ujjayi breath during that back bend. That will help to calm you, engaging and activating that parasympathetic nervous system. We'll move into Sun B. We'll be adding chair pose, Utkatasana. Inhale, arms sweep up tall. Exhale and fold. Inhale, hands to shins, flat back. Exhale, as we fold, we sweep our fingertips onto the floor and make our way into chair pose. Amelia has her arms up tall. You can have your arms out long should you choose. You want to sit the hips down, take a peek at your toes. Are your knees in the way? If they are, bring the knees back. It might feel as though you're going to fall backwards. That's fine. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold and step the right foot back. You're in a runner's lunge. Inhale, lifts the heart. Exhale, left foot back, down dog. If you want to go into a three-legged vinyasa, right leg lifts tall. You don't have to do this. Inhale, forward in the high push-up. Exhale, lower, chaturanga. Inhale, right foot drops, flatten the feet, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, we'll step it through to the top of the mat. Inhale, lifts the heart. Exhale, left foot forward and fold. Inhale, shins. Exhale, fold. Inhale, we'll sweep the arms up tall. Now we're going to set up for back bend number 3. This time you're going for it. Press down, lift up, press forward, drop back. Find the spot on the wall behind you. I'm going to give an assist here. I'm supporting her mid-thoracic spine. Breathe through it. Breathe. Find the breath. Exhale, forward fold. Use your breath. Inhale, shins. Exhale, fold. We step the left foot back. We're in a runner's lunge. Inhale, lifts the heart. Exhale, right foot back. We're in down dog. Three-legged vinyasa yogis. Left leg lifts. Inhale, forward in the high plank. Exhale and lower. Inhale, left foot drops. Upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg lifts tall. Exhale, step it through, top of the mat. Inhale, lifts the heart. Exhale, right foot forward and fold. Inhale, shins. Exhale, fold. We sweep our little pinky fingers onto the floor and we find our way in Utkatasana chair pose. Inhale. Exhale, sink. Inhale. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Inhale, elbows lift. Exhale, we'll take the left elbow over the right knee. Well, she did right elbow over the left knee. Left elbow over the right knee.
Thank you.
And we take our twisting chair. So let's look at a couple different points here. First, look at your knees. Have your knees migrated? We have a tendency to move one knee back when we do this posture. Bring your knees together to the best of your ability. Sit the butt down. Your right elbow is pointing towards the ceiling. Your hands are coming as close to heart center as possible. Find your Ujjayi breath here. Your gaze is towards the ceiling for 3, for 2, for 1. Inhale, hands come back to heart center. Exhale and sink. Inhale, elbows lift. Exhale, right elbow goes over the left knee this time. So again, be mindful of where your knees are. Bring your knees together, as difficult as that might sound. Hips drop down. Right elbow pointing towards the ceiling. Maybe your gaze is towards the ceiling. Trying to get your hands as close to your heart center as possible. You do that by pressing that right knee, right elbow into the left knee across the body. So as the upper body begins to gain rotation, you'll be able to bring the hands closer to the heart. For 3, for 2, for 1. Hands come back to heart center. We're in Utkatasana, chair pose with hands at heart center. We're going to take a little toe stand here. So let's lift the heels up tall. We're coming up onto our tippy toes. If this is uncomfortable, you don't have to come up as high. And then if you would like, we can begin to slowly lower and go into a toe stand. Back is flat. And then if you're comfortable here, you can begin to flare the knees open. Maybe bring the heels together with the knees open wide. Find your drishti point about 3 or 4 feet in front. Nice focus here. Hold. Back is straight. Touch the ceiling with the crown of your head. And then let's place our palms into the floor. We'll straighten the legs. Arms sweep up tall. Hands come to heart center. Tadasana mountain pose. Cleansing breath. And we'll reset this. Cleansing breath here. She just took a really good cleansing breath. Final cleansing breath here. As we move into our next sequence. Inhale, arms sweep up tall. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, hands to shins, flat back. Exhale, fold. We step the right foot back. We move into a runner's lunge. So the right ball of the foot is on the mat. Inhale lifts us up into crescent lunge. Arms come up tall. So now let's think about our posture here. Right knee over the left knee over the left ankle. Left thigh parallel to the mat. Kicking the right heel towards the back wall. Both hips facing forward. Inhale. Exhale, sink. Inhale, arms come forward. Hold here. Nice flat straight line. Exhale, bring the arms behind you, palms facing down for airplane pose. So as you see, she's got a nice straight line for the back of that right heel to the crown of the head. Shoulder blades rotating backward. You're retracting your shoulders. I have a pencil that I have between her shoulder blades here that she's pinching. Inhale. Exhale. Let's take the right palm to the inside of the left foot. And then we'll sweep that left arm up tall and take a twisting lunge. Now you can come down to the right knee should you choose here. Let your ego go. If you're comfortable, more comfortable coming down to the right knee, feel free to go there. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Now, if your right knee is not already dropped on the floor, drop the right knee, extend that right leg back, bring both hands to the left knee. We're going to come into kneeling crescent, and we'll find our way in kneeling crescent lunge here. So, right knee down, right foot flat, maybe begin to lean forward on that right thigh, opening up those right hip flexors, I'm sorry. Now, if you're comfortable here and you'd like to move into a little bit of a back bend, begin to press into that left knee, straighten the arms, gaze to the ceiling, find your drishti point, and then take yourself into a back bend. Hold here. Inhale, beautiful posture. Exhale. Inhale. With our next exhale, we'll take both hands to the inside of the left foot. Now extend that right leg even longer and make your way into lizard lunge. So, lizard lunge, lots of different possibilities here. First layer, Right leg extended back, top of the foot on the mat, palms are on the floor, and that's your lizard lunge. If that's your comfort level, if that's where you're going today, that is perfect. Other layers that you can add. You can begin to turn that left foot out to 45 degrees. That will open that left hip joint up a little bit. If you're comfortable there, you may even think about coming onto the knife edge of that left foot, opening that hip even further. If you're comfortable there, if you have a block or a book, maybe bring your forearms to the block. And if you're comfortable there and you want to bring your forearms to the floor without the block, feel free to go there. The only caveat is that both arms have to be there equally. So lots of layers, lots of layers. Now, if you're comfortable here, you can roll over the toes of the right foot, lift that right knee up, right forearm comes to the mat, left arm sweeps up tall, and then that left arm bends and comes to the back into a half bind, and you're taking a lizard lunge twist. So I just gave you about 5 or 6 different layers. One is not better than the other. They're all different. Everybody has different levels of experience and flexibility. You go where your body tells you. We'll stay here for another 5 breaths. This is a wonderful yin posture because it's lengthening that connective tissue. The muscles, the ligaments, the fascia, the tendons. Lengthening, lengthening. Ooh, the heat just came on. Feels nice and warm in here. It's kind of a chilly day out today. Final 2 breaths. Inhale, settling in, exhale. Inhale. On your next exhale, you'll send that left foot back to meet the right. Roll both toes under. Make your way into down dog. And you can take an optional vinyasa flow here, should you choose. And we meet in down dog. Pedal the feet. Shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. Now, inhale, lift the right leg up tall. Exhale, step it through to the top of the mat. Inhale lifts you up into crescent lunge. So now a crescent lunge on the right. Her left heel is pressing towards the back wall. The right knee is over the right ankle. That right thigh one day is parallel to the floor. If you'd like to go into a little bit of a back bend here, maybe gaze towards the ceiling, find your drishti point, and then trace a straight line to the back wall. Beautiful. Both hips facing forward. Inhale. Exhale, come back to center if you're back bend. Inhale. Exhale, sink. Inhale, arms come out long. Exhale, arms come behind you as we find our way in airplane pose. Again, nice straight line. That lower upper body down a little bit. Pressing the shoulder blades together so you're rotating externally that shoulder joint. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Left palm comes to the floor. Right arm sweeps up tall. You can stay up high or you can drop that left knee down and flatten that left foot. Yogi's choice. And take your twist. Opening the chest. Maybe one day that chest is facing the ceiling, touching the ceiling with your fingertips on the right side. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Left knee drops. Left foot flattens. Both hands come to the right knee. Lean forward on the left thigh. And find yourself in kneeling crescent on the right.
Can your knee go past your ankle?
I would prefer your knee does not go past your ankle too much. That puts a lot of pressure on your knee. So if you get that knee stacked up over the ankle, that's kind of where we want to be. Everything needs to be stacked. That puts less pressure on the joint and therefore makes it less likely that you'll have an injury. As one of my favorite yoga teacher always says, you don't get hurt doing yoga. you get hurt
Doing yoga wrong.
doing yoga wrong. That's right. So
That's
now
the shout out to Leo.
if you're comfortable here, begin to press into that right knee and take your back bend so your arms are now straight and lengthened. Your chest is facing the ceiling. Notice she's in full cervical extension, full lumbar extension. Throat chakra is open for 3, for 2, for 1. Release. Both palms come to the inside of the right foot. Extend that left leg back long now and find your way in lizard lunge. As we did on the left side, now on the right side, you have many, many different options. You can stay up on your palms and just stay there. Or you can turn your foot out 45 degrees. Or you can come to the outer edge of your foot. Or you can come to your forearms on a block. Or you can come to your forearms on the floor. The layers that you go to are dependent upon your level of experience and your level of flexibility. If this is your first month ever doing yoga, you might not be able to get onto your arms and elbows. If this is your 20th year doing yoga, you may be able to, unless you had an injury last week, in which case maybe you're not. So be kind, be compassionate to yourself. Amelia's taking this into the twist. And then back to lizard lunge. We'll stay here for 5 more breaths. Settling in, maybe now coming back to a mindful meditative breath. Final 2 breaths. Begin to release that right foot to the back of the mat. Roll both toes under. Take a vinyasa should you choose. Find your way in down dog. And then bend the knees, peek to the top of the mat. You can walk or hop to the top of the mat. Find your way in a forward fold. Inhale, arms will sweep up tall. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Tadasana, mountain pose, cleansing breath. I think we have the camera set up a little different, so I'm getting my head chopped off a little bit more, which is not the worst thing for a lot of people, including myself.
Oh, mine's too. I thought it was back too far.
All right, you're going to turn and face the camera now. So we're going to move into our balancing postures now. So we're going to begin with our left foot as our balance foot. So let's be conscious and mindful about where we're placing our foot. Let's take the heel of that left foot into the mat. Then we'll drop the ball of the left foot. We'll lift the toes of that left foot up. That engages the plantar fascia. And then drop the toes. Hands come to heart center. We're going to bring that right knee up and hold here. Just balance here. The key is your left leg here. How straight, how strong can you get your left leg? The 4 corners of that left foot into the ground. The 26 bones in the foot and ankle constantly readjusting. Right knee bent at 90 degrees. Right thigh parallel to the mat. Inhale. Touching the ceiling with the crown of your head. Tall, long. Exhale. Inhale. Now on your next exhale, you're going to take the right ankle and place it over the left knee in figure 4. Inhale here, pressing that right knee towards the wall behind you, and then exhale, begin to sit down. Back is flat. So you have an upward facing dog back here, trying not to roll over. Upward facing dog back. Pressing that right knee towards the floor and holding. Now, if you're comfortable here, you can take the back of the right hand to the outside of the right foot and then maybe extend that left arm up tall. I'm falling out, so I'm going to get out of here. Inhale. Press that right knee towards the floor, opening that right hip. Exhale, hands come back to heart center. We're going to bring that right knee back into the chest, and we're going to make our way into Virabhadrasana 3, Warrior 3. So, we're going to slowly begin to kick that right leg back. At the same time, the upper body's coming down, using your hips as the fulcrum. Upper body down, lower body up, upper body down, lower body up. Right hip drops down. Left leg, solid, strong, lamppost. Inhale. Exhale, right knee comes back to the chest. Inhale. Exhale, right leg lengthens long, kicking warrior. Hold here. Doesn't matter how high that right leg comes. What's important is that left leg, your balancing leg, which by now is fatiguing, fatiguing, fatiguing. Use your breath. What can you do? What can you do less to do more here? For 3, for 2, for 1, let's place that right foot down about 3 feet in front of the left foot, both feet facing forward. We'll bring our arms behind our back. You can grab your elbows, you can grab your wrists, you can grab your forearms, or if you have reverse prayer, you can go there. We'll move into pyramid pose. Your feet are about 3 feet apart. Inhale, grow tall, shoulder blades come together. Now, leading with your chin, begin to make your way down to 90 degrees so you have a nice flat back. Try not to roll over here. For pyramid pose. You should feel a nice stretch in that right hamstring, but at the same time, you're pressing that left heel into the mat. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. If you're comfortable here and would like to go another inch, feel free to do so as long as that right leg stays straight. For 3, for 2, for 1, begin to stand up tall. Bring both feet together. Hands come to heart center. Tadasana, mountain pose. Cleansing breath.
You have no head.
What's that?
You have
I have no head. Yeah, what happened?
It's not in
My
the right
tech
position.
team. My tech team today was a little off.
She hangs her head.
I'm
and
not
she-
telling you who my tech team is. All right, we'll move to the other side. Well, hopefully they're all doing the postures, so they're not necessarily
Right.
looking at us the whole time.
No.
Our right foot will be our balance foot this time, so we'll take that right heel into the mat and then drop the ball of the right foot. Lift the right toes up to engage the plantar fascia, and then drop the right toes down. Hands come to heart center. We'll bring that left knee up to 90 degrees. Now, again, concentrating on that right leg. Contract that right quadriceps. That will lift the kneecap up because the quadriceps tendon ties into the patella, into the kneecap. So as you contract that quadriceps, that's going to straighten that leg. Holding here. Find your drishti point. Focus and breath, most important things in our balance postures. Focus, drishti, and pranayama. Hold here. Inhale. Exhale, we'll take that left knee over the left ankle over the right knee. Inhale. Exhale, we bend that right knee. Gaze is upward. Drishti point is not on the floor here. Drishti point is about 4 or 5 feet in front of you. Upward facing dog back. Hands to heart center. Hold here. If you're comfortable, you can take that left back of the left hand to the outside of the left foot and extend that right arm up tall. I fell out on one side. Hold here. Hands come back to heart center. Inhale, left knee comes into the chest. Exhale, begin to kick that left leg back using your hips as a fulcrum like a seesaw. Upper body down, lower body up, upper body down, lower body up. Virabhadrasana 3, Warrior 3. Try not to bend that right leg. Again, solid, strong, contracting that right quadriceps for 3, for 2, for 1. Left knee comes back into the chest. Exhale, we kick that left leg out long, kicking warrior, maybe leaning back an inch or 2 for counterbalance. Right leg still solid and strong. It's screaming at you now. And then exhale, we'll step that left foot in front, about 3 feet, readjust the feet so they're on railroad tracks. Arms come behind the back. If you grabbed your elbows, your wrists, or your forearms the other way, maybe do it the same way here, except reverse, go into a weird grip. It'll feel weird because it's not your default. If you're in reverse namaskar, that's fine. Inhale, grow tall, shoulder blades together. Exhale, leading with your chin. We make our way forward. Shoulder blades squeezing one another. Again, I use this analogy all the time. We have a pencil or a pen between the shoulder blades, and you're pressing the shoulder blades together to pinch that pencil there so it doesn't fall out. Right hip drops down a little bit. You want nice flat hips here. Breathe through it. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. If you're comfortable here and would like to take it 1 more inch, feel free to do so. For 3, for 2, for 1. Begin to stand up tall. Feet come together. Tadasana mountain pose. Cleansing breath. Let's make our way to our knees. We're going to move in a camel. No, face that way. So find your way onto your knees. We're going to move our way into camel. So, a couple things here. You can have your toes rolled under or your toes flat. Yogi's choice. Lots of different layers with camel. So, we're going to begin by bringing our hands to our back. Fingertips facing down, almost as though you have your hands in the back pockets on your jeans. Is anybody wearing jeans these days? Or are we all just wearing yoga pants and sweatpants?
I don't think everybody's even wearing pants these days.
All right, now, begin to press the hips forward and drop the head back. If this is your camel, this is perfect. Lots of different layers in camel. You do not have to go anywhere that you're uncomfortable with. Notice how nice and straight Amelia's front of the body is. So if she was against the wall, her hips, her belly, her thighs would all be touching the wall. Now, if you're comfortable here, and you want to go for the foot, you can go there. If your toes are rolled under, it's a little bit easier because you're bringing your heels closer. Amelia is able, and this is towards the end of our practice, so it's understandable that she's able to do that. Press the hips forward. Chest is facing the ceiling. Head is dropping back. For 3, breathe. For 2, for 1, and then slowly begin to uncurl. Take a child's pose. Now from child's pose, bring the knees together. We're going to move into rabbit. So you bring the knees together, you bring the feet together, you bring the ankles together. You sit up tall. You're going to grab your heels. Your thumb is on the outside, your fingers are on the inside. Inhale, grow tall. Bring your chin to your chest, and then slower than you would like, begin to round forward. You want to think about bringing your forehead as close to your knees as possible. Your arms are now straight and long. Hold here. And then on your inhale, begin to lift the hips up tall for rabbit pose. So this is a counterbalance to our camel pose. Camel pose is one of the deepest back bends, and rabbit pose is one of the deepest forward bends for flexion. Now, one day you might be able to get your forehead onto your knees. I can get it about 1 inch away, but I used to be able to get it about 6 inches away, and that was as far as I could go. So you're sucking in your belly button here. You're rounding the cervical spine down. Your breath is shorter. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, begin to release. Sit back. Unwind. Roll down onto your glutes. Extend the legs out long. Hold here. Arms come out long. And on a count of 5, we're going to make our way to the floor. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's bring our knees up tall, bend at the knees, arms come out into a T. We'll take a final spinal twist. So let's take the knees to the left and the gaze to the right. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, knees come back to the center. Exhale, knees go right and gaze goes left. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, knees come back to center. Exhale, extend the legs out long. If there is anything that you would like to do to seal your own personal practice, feel free to go there. Otherwise, find your way in our final posture of today's practice, Shavasana, corpse pose. Your yoga practice consists of 3 distinct sections: pranayama, breath, asana, postures, and shavasana, rest and regeneration, recuperation. Relax your feet, relax your legs, relax your hips, relax your belly. Relax your chest. Relax your hands, relax your arms, relax your shoulders. Relax your neck, relax your face. Relax your forehead. Relax your crown. Relax your mind. Begin to allow consciousness and awareness to return to your bodies. If you'd like to wiggle your toes and fingers, feel free to do so. Shake your head, coming back. And if you'd like to extend your arms above your head, maybe clasping your hands together and taking a final stretch for today's practice, and then rolling onto your right side, fetal posture. And then making your way up to a seated posture, either easy seated posture, half lotus, or full lotus, hands at heart center, eyes closed. Having expectations is, of course, human. What becomes problematic is when our expectations are more like demands or requirements rather than simply preferences. When we demand or require that life or people be a particular way, it will often lead to suffering. Each one of your expectations is a setup for possible disappointment. But we can simply pause and stay present with what's there. The emotions, the bodily sensations, the frustrations. This is also the place where we can experience equanimity. Equanimity meaning being present with exactly what we are experiencing right now without judgment. This can include disappointment, anxiety, depression, or whatever else may be present. Feeling equanimity does not mean that these things are gone. Rather, it means we are present with them without judging them as bad or needing them to go away. Ezra Beda. If you would like to join Amelia and I in a practice sealing Om, please feel free to do so. Should you choose not to, that's perfectly okay. We'll take one deep cleansing breath and then a second breath and exhale to Om. Inhale. Inhale. As we take our thumb knuckles between our eyebrows to our third eye and take a slight bow towards one another, the light in us honors the light in each of you. We thank you as always for joining us in our practice together today. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Namaste.
Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you all next time. Namaste.